Hey guys, welcome back. This is Think Beautiful, the channel where I discuss the debacle that is Meghan Markle. In today's episode, I'm going to go back to 2017. This is probably my favorite article ever. This was Meghan Markle's article for Vanity Fair, and it all went pear-shaped. Let's be honest. All right, let's start off with a bit of background. So, this was the cover of the magazine. And honestly, it looks like she's not wearing anything. She looks naked on the front, I'm just going to say. So basically, leading into this interview, what's really important to consider is that Harry had a chat with her, okay, and he laid down the law apparently, and he said, according to Tom Bauer, that Harry had told his future wife not to discuss three key topics in the interview. Okay, so Harry, just imagine for a second, just imagine Harry trying to tell Meghan not to do something. Oh, wow. She was not allowed to discuss Donald Trump, okay, race, and their relationship. All right, and then just look at the title of this article on the front page. She's just wild about Harry. So there's a bit of a clue that she might have actually said a couple things. All right. So let's go through this. We'll start off with the intro. Meghan Markle wild about Harry, battered by the tabloids to the point where her boyfriend, Prince Harry, issued a statement defending her. Okay, well, he was forced to. Actress and activist. Okay, so 2017, she's already calling herself an activist. I think she'd been to India, maybe Rwanda. That's about it. Meghan Markle has largely ignored the media storm. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. She loves the media. And as Markle tells Vanity Fair about her biracial background, so we're already talking about race. We're already talking about race. Her romance, there's 2 out of 3 already. And her hit series Suits, her hit series. It seems that this 36-year-old American, this makes her sound so old, may be just the woman for Britain's iconoclastic royal. All right, she's just the woman for Harry. Yeah, we know that. They're suited completely. All right, so this is how it kind of starts off. Meghan Markle was going to London. She had a week's hiatus before returning to Toronto to film the 100th episode of Suits, a surprise hit series on the USA Network, now in its 7th season. On a rainy afternoon in June, Markle came to her front door and welcomed me into her home. So this is Sam Kashner, who interviewed her for this article. He went around to her house and he came to her front door, and she welcomed him into her home on a quiet tree-lined street in Toronto. Okay. Markle was wearing a red knee-length floral dress. Erdem, a designer I've been wearing for years, she says. All right. So first of all, I think this is the dress. I've got a picture here. This is the one I can find. So this is a designer called Erdem. I've never heard of them. Never heard of them. um, and I just want to let you guys know that this is actually an expensive dress. Okay. So I think she's name dropping here. Anyway, uh, she goes on. She had her dogs there wagging their tails beside her. Well, we all know what happened to Bogart, but anyway. A slim brunette with a slightly freckled, glowing complexion and an upturned nose. She looks like the sun-kissed California girl she's always been. Okay, whatever. Anyway, this I just want to show you this dress. Okay, that's what I think it was. She was wearing that just lounging around at home. And here it is. And I just want to show you, like, this is very expensive. This is like on sale, and this is Australian dollars, $1,500. So maybe before sale, maybe almost $3,000, you know. And really, what I think she used to do, she's terrible with money. I think we all know that. I think she just used to spend her money on shoes and clothes. Hence, she had nothing to show for her money. Let's keep going. Here we go. Meghan starting to paint herself in the way that she wants us to remember her. She wants to appear really kind of southern California, organic, all that kind of stuff. So Markle had prepared a lunch of organic greens. You got to throw the word organic in there, just in case you didn't know. A crusty bread to be dipped into olive oil, and pasta tossed with chilies brought from some shop, blah, blah, blah. They're really hot, but I think they'll be your new favorite. I'll give you a little jar to take home, she says. Oh, she loves jars, doesn't she? She loves a good jar. Wonder if she put a sticky label on it that didn't stick. Her warmth is genuine. I mean, this is Sam Kashner. Her warmth is genuine. How would you know after meeting her for 2 minutes? Terrible judge of character, this guy. She seems to be the happy genius, I wouldn't use that word, of her home of 7 years. And then she says she's lived there for 7 years, 7 winters, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's keep going. Markle is the calm. Again, not a word I would use for Meghan Markle. In the centre of the media storm that she has helped to create, inspired by her year-long relationship with the prince. So we're talking about relationship again. We've even used the word relationship, okay? The couple met in London through friends. Well, she's a stalker, so she got into his crowd and somehow got in front of him. Markle says, so she said that. She's just mentioned that. That's the relationship. You weren't meant to talk about that, Meghan. Harry told you. He told you. Do you not listen? Do you not care? No, she doesn't. Since then, media coverage of their romance has been so intense and much of it so unpleasant. See, I didn't know this. I was too late to this. I don't remember anything being really unpleasant, to be really honest with you. And I didn't know who she was anyway, so who the F is Meghan Markle? That Prince Harry was moved to issue a statement. He was forced to issue a statement. The palace was forced. She bullied the palace and Harry to issue a statement asking the press and the public essentially to back off, and they haven't. Well, we still haven't because she hasn't stopped talking, she hasn't stopped lying. So, yeah, that's what happens. Bogart and Guy have become Instagram stars. Okay, that's random. Markle, new to fame. Yeah, here we go. New to fame because she was a nobody. Nobody knew who she was. Who the F is Meghan Markle? We didn't know. We had to Google her, all right? No one knew who she was. Don't pretend you had a successful career, Meghan. No one knew who you were, all right? So she was new to fame. She's handled the hoopla with surprising aplomb. It has its challenges and it comes in waves. Some days it can feel more challenging than others. I mean, how stupid is that sentence? It's obvious. Some days are better than others, of course. Oh my God. And right out of the gate, oh, she loves that. Right out of the gate, hit the ground running, right out of the gate. It was surprising the way things changed. I think she's referring to race there. I think she's now talking about race. So she's talked about relationship and I think she's edging here with the race topic. But I still have this support system all around me. So she had support, okay, but you had no support. And of course, my boyfriend's support. Oh, beautiful. Isn't that lovely? And then they start talking about Harry. And what do we say here? As Diana's younger son, how could we ever forget? Harry continues to bask in the public's love for the people's princess, and he hasn't stopped, you guys, either. We all know that. He hasn't stopped talking about her. He basks in the public's love. That's actually not a bad way of describing it. He has been forgiven his occasional wildness, okay, the acting out of a broken heart that had sent him into grief counseling in his late 20s. I always thought he said that he hadn't gone into counseling and that it wasn't until he met Meghan. Maybe I'm wrong. As the royal favourite, okay, maybe not, but there is keen interest in and much speculation about the woman he may marry. Well, okay, a rumour floating in cyberspace has that he popped the question last month when they were vacationing in Botswana. Well, okay, I'm sure they talked about it. I'm sure she brought it up, by the way. That wouldn't surprise me. Now, this is really interesting, you guys. This is so interesting. I didn't know anything about this. I've just stumbled across this today. Okay. The author of this article, this Sam Kashner guy, now he brings up this, and I just think Meghan must have mentioned this because this is weird. Okay. As in the 1957 Marilyn Monroe and Laurence Olivier film, The Prince and the Showgirl, right? The Prince and the Showgirl. A feeding frenzy surrounds royal and non-royal couplings. Though Markle is extremely pretty, and she stars in a TV show, okay, you would never call her a showgirl. You would never call her a showgirl, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? Those Deal or No Deal days, you wouldn't say that look was showgirl. Okay, she's too serious. Well, she is kind of serious. She's kind of boring. She's too well brought up, acknowledging that she was raised well, that her father did a great job. And outside of Vegas, who's called a showgirl anymore? Grounded is the word that is often used to describe her. Has anyone ever heard someone describe Meghan Markle as being grounded? Okay, no, no one, no one. Maybe herself. But I'm just going to go back to this Marilyn Monroe movie, okay, The Prince and the Showgirl, because I read that and I was like, that's random. Why would you pop that in there? All right, so I Googled the poster for this film, okay, and you're going to die. If you are not aware of this, which I was not, you're gonna die. Look at this. The Prince and the Showgirl. Look at that. That is the dress Marilyn Monroe wore in the poster for this movie. Does that not look exactly like this hideous creation here on the left? That is the same thing. This is her showgirl dress. Now I get it. This is her showgirl. She's trying to be Marilyn Monroe. I don't know what she's doing with her hair, but oh God, I bet she wanted to dye it blonde. But look at that. That is uncanny. Wow. Meghan. I mean, there's just layers. She's just like an onion, seriously. Oh, I just was speechless when I found that. Oh my goodness, let's keep going. Here she is describing herself again. Here we go. This is what she wants us to believe. I was born and raised in Los Angeles, a California girl who lives by the ethos that most things can be cured with either yoga, the beach, or a few avocados. Who has ever said that something can be cured with avocados? No one's ever said that. Such a stupid thing to say. Until recently, she maintained a popular lifestyle blog called The Tig. Oh, here we go. We all know about this. At least they say it was a blog. At least they're not saying it was a lifestyle brand. Okay? At least we're calling it what it is. She is a self described foodie. She's self described everything. A passion, incidentally, given to her character on Suits. I mean, this bread is so good. They're just sitting there eating bread. I mean, what a load of. Let's keep going. I've skipped through a few paragraphs because honestly, it's just garbage. But let's get to this bit because this again is interesting to point out because she again tells everyone how supportive her parents are. Okay. And I'm thinking about her father here because obviously she lived with him for majority of her life growing up. I don't know where Doria was. I have some suspicions, but we all know it was Thomas Markle Sr. bringing up this girl. Okay. My parents had been so supportive, watching me audition, trying to make ends meet, taking all the odds and ends jobs to pay my bills. I was doing calligraphy. Oh, God. How do you pay bills doing calligraphy or scribbling on paper? How does that help you? And I was a hostess at a restaurant. Okay, that's what you want to call it, a restaurant, and all those things that actors do. Here we go. My father knew how hard it is for an actor to get work, so he, above all people, was so proud that I was able to beat the odds. I mean, she acknowledges her father. She gets it. What the heck happened? I mean, honestly. One of the strongest bonds Prince Harry and Markle share is their philanthropy. Well, I really feel like Meghan Markle just kind of upped the ante on the philanthropy in the lead up to trying to nab Prince Harry, to be honest. Anyway, for Markle, it began at an early age. Oh, yeah, here we go. Her mother, Doria Raglan, made sure that her little girl knew about the greater world and its political and economic challenges when she was growing up in LA. I think here is the bit where she actually brought up, when I was 11, I wrote a letter, but unfortunately, that didn't make the cut because guess what? They couldn't substantiate it because she embellished it so much, saying she got a letter from Hillary Clinton and no one could verify it. So that's actually not in here. That's all been cut out. Anyway, she keeps talking about her dad here. I've left this bit in here because I think this is interesting. She says here that every day after school for 10 years, every day after school, she went to the set of Married with Children. And we all know that that was a lie because her dad came out later on and said it was every Friday and it was a treat. Or not every Friday. I don't know. It was some Fridays. It wasn't every day. Anyway, so she's already lying in this article in 2017. Here's an interesting bit too. How does Markle handle the tabloid nonsense about her and Harry? I can tell you, here she is talking about her relationship, by the way, she's not meant to. I can tell you that at the end of the day, I think it's really simple, she says. We're two people who are really happy and in love. Wow, she's not meant to say any of this. And here she goes. We were very quietly dating for about 6 months. I don't know how she did that either. She must have been absolutely dying to tell everyone before it became news. And I was working during that whole time. And the only thing that changed was people's perceptions. Nothing about me changed. I'm still the same person that I am. And I've never defined myself by my relationship. Okay, Duchess of Sussex, you've never defined yourself by your relationship. I mean, then drop the title. Stop calling yourself that. Just say Meghan. I mean, you're completely defined by your relationship. Completely, 100%. The media frenzy seems to bother the prince more than it does Markle. Yeah, because she's the one calling the paps, man. He's clueless. He's like, where'd they come from? How did they know we were here? And she's like, I don't know. 5 minutes earlier, she's just called them. Crazy. The official statement issued from Kensington Palace by his communications secretary read, in part, Meghan Markle has been subject to a wave of abuse and harassment. Prince Harry is worried about Miss Markle's safety. This is a terrible statement. Why would you say any of this? And is deeply disappointed that he has not been able to protect her. As for Markle, she prefers what the British call ostriching. I don't even know that word, but okay. And this is classic. Oh, this is a classic lie. I love this. This is why I love this article. She says, I don't read any press. And it gets worse. I haven't even read press for Suits. Oh, come on. Come on. As if you didn't buy every single magazine where you guys were interviewed, as if you didn't watch all the interviews on TV, as if you don't have a scrapbook. That is such a lie. I can't get past that. Why do you have to lie, Megan? It's okay if you read some press. It's okay. Don't say you don't when you absolutely do. The people who are close to me anchor me in knowing who I am. The rest is noise. I mean, she just paints herself as this perfect girl. No one's perfect. Wow. Oh, and this is interesting. So then they start to talk about what's Queen Elizabeth going to think about all of this. What does she think of the prospect of a marriage between her grandson and the American divorcee? And again, by the way, they're talking about the relationship, completely talking about the relationship. They're talking about marriage now. What the heck? When asked if she thought the Queen opposed the match, Sally Beddles-Smith, who has written biographies of Queen Elizabeth, Princess Diana, and most recently Prince Charles, when he was a prince, said, I love this, the stakes are obviously lower in the case of Harry. Because no one gives it shit, seriously, because he's fifth in the line to the throne. So they're saying they don't care. He's fifth in line. Do whatever you want. But to be honest, they should have paid a bit more attention, because now look what we have. Look at this mess. And then it goes on. The Queen is remarkably open-minded and she's very tolerant. Yeah, we know that. We saw that. That's why we love her. She had to put up with this. Then it says William was allowed to cohabit with Kate Middleton, even though she's the daughter of a very middle-class family. The Queen just looked at who Kate was and that she was in love with her grandson and that she knew how to conduct herself with dignity and discretion. Yes, to all of that. And that was the most important thing. Meghan is like the opposite of that. She does not know how to conduct herself with dignity and discretion. Wow, discretion. Meghan Markle is the opposite of discretion. If you want to know the opposite of discretion, it is just Meghan Markle. There's no other word for it. I would imagine that the Queen's view of this would be if they're in love and they're well suited, then they should proceed. Well, to be really honest, they kind of are well suited because they're both idiots and they're both just awful people. So they are well suited. I just wish they wouldn't meddle in all of the other stuff that they're meddling in. Just go off and do your thing. Now we bring in her famous friends because, Meghan likes to name drop. Markle credits the rock solid support from her close friends, like who she just met like 5 minutes ago. She talks about Serena Williams and how they met at the Super Bowl. And look at this picture. Here they are chatting at the Super Bowl. They've literally just met. Does Meghan not look like she's trying so hard, laughing and like, and then I said this. She's like putting it on, like turning it up to 100. You can just see. And then Serena says, I told her you've got to be who you are, Meghan. You can't hide. Oh, so true. So true. Meghan, you can't hide. We know exactly who you are. Then she talks about some more famous friends. Mishinonu. Her greatest strength is her compassion for others. Are you kidding me? Are you absolutely kidding me? Her compassion for others? How is that even possible? Much of the work she does is unseen by the public. Oh my God. I mean, what nonsense. And Abigail Spencer, one of my favorites. You guys must remember when she rolled around on the ground with a lemon basket. What was she doing? I had to put a picture there. I mean, do we care what she says? She's got warm elegance. Though her style is hard to pin down, it's classy and timeless. These are not words associated with Meghan Markle. Classy? Timeless? No. Sorry, Abigail. You're wrong there. And here we go. She starts talking again about the relationship that she has been told not to talk about by Prince Harry, who cannot tell her what to do. We know that. He tried. It went terribly. It was raining in Toronto the day we met. This is the author talking here. And while this sounds corny, yeah, it does. It also happens to be true. As she resumed speaking about Prince Harry, the sun came out. Oh, God. They could have cut that bit out. Markle suggested that we move outside into the small garden behind the house, where she opened up even more about the object of her affection, her boyfriend. So she just talks more about it. Like, Meghan, what are you doing? Listen to this. We're a couple. We're in love. I'm sure there will be a time when we will have to come forward. Well, you're doing it now. And present ourselves and have stories to tell. But I hope what people will understand is that this is our time. No one gives a shit about you guys, honestly. This is for us. It's part of what makes it so special that it's just ours, but we're happy. Personally, I love a great love story. So that is what she said. She loves a great love story. She's calling it early, and it's all here. It's all here. This is always on the internet. She said all of this. She was told not to. She couldn't have said any more, seriously. And then we have here at the end note, just before I filed Markle's story, she texted me, going where the Wi-Fi is weak. She turned out to be Botswana, blah, blah, blah. um, they celebrated her 36th birthday there. I didn't realize that. Okay, but anyway, what is interesting here as well, two things. Okay, so again, they assume that Diana would have approved of her, which I do not agree. I think, if anything, Diana was very good with people. I think she had instinct and she would have seen through Meghan completely, all of these red flags. So I don't agree with that. But this bit here, and if you guys know anything more about this, please let me know. But it says here, editor's note, the sentence regarding the first time Markle met Prince Harry has been amended. Markle told Vanity Fair that the couple met in July 2016. So she must have set a different date. I don't know what happened. She's called them up and changed it. So to me, that's just so suspicious. Obviously, something's up there. I can't figure out what it was. So yeah, guys, if you know, please let me know. So that's the end of the article. It didn't go well. There was huge fallout. And here's just a piece of it. Markle had reportedly been ecstatic to do the piece, but was irate that the magazine chose to focus on her relationship with the Duke of Sussex rather than on her acting career and philanthropic efforts. Absolute BS, Meghan. You did not stop talking about Prince Harry. You used the word relationship. You said love, all of these things. I mean, how would you think they wouldn't run with that? What's going to sell magazines? You know exactly. I mean, that's just insane. Anyway, I'm going to jump off. Thank you so much for listening. Please like and subscribe, and please let me know your thoughts on this because there's so many good nuggets in this article. I'd love to hear your feedback. Have a great one, you guys. See you soon. Bye.